Our essay introduction is the first impression on the examiner. So it's safe to say that it is the most important part of our essay. So in this video, we will learn how to write a perfectly worded introduction. Before we do that, I would like to address a few questions that I commonly get from students about writing an introduction. How many words should I write in my introduction? There is no fixed number. It will depend on my essay topic. If it is just a single statement essay topic, I will obviously write fewer words. If the question prompt itself has 2 statements and 2 questions, obviously my introduction will be longer. So I may write a 40-word introduction for one essay topic, but maybe 65 words for another. Should I mention all the ideas I will discuss in the body paragraphs? Ideally, yes. Our introduction should have a brief mention of the ideas that we will discuss in the body paragraphs. In fact, this is why I always encourage my students to write fewer ideas. It also depends on the type of essay topic I've got. Like for an agree-disagree essay, I will ideally give only 2 reasons to support my view. So it is possible to mention them both in the introduction. But if I have an advantages-disadvantages essay, for example, and if I want to discuss 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages, I may not be able to mention them all in the introduction. In fact, this is why I would personally write only 2 advantages and 1 drawback, or maybe 2 disadvantages and 1 advantage. And now if I have a discuss both views essay, I will only give 1 argument to support each view. So it will be possible for me to include both these ideas in the introduction. Can I repeat any words from the prompt? Of course you can. You may repeat some words from the essay prompt, but just not in the same order. It is important that we paraphrase our essay topic. Now, there are 2 ways to do that. I may either choose to write synonyms for the words written in my essay prompt, or I may simply rearrange these words. Let's understand that with an example. So our essay prompt says, nowadays, many people complain that they have difficulties getting enough sleep. Let us now try and paraphrase this. First, by using synonyms. Second, by rearranging the words. More and more people are grappling with insomnia these days. In this case, I chose to write synonyms for the words mentioned in my prompt. Let's look at this another way to paraphrase the prompt. Not being able to get enough sleep is a common complaint for people nowadays. As you can see, I have used quite a few words from the essay prompt, but I have not mentioned them in the same order. When it comes to writing a good essay, clarity is the name of the game. Same is true for introduction as well. The simpler, the better. Our essay prompt invariably comprises 2 parts: a statement or statements, and question or questions. So our introduction too will consist of 2 parts. In the first part, we will paraphrase the statement, and in the second part, we will simply answer the question. That is all we really need to write in our introduction. We need not start with any background statements or write any proverbs. It is okay to include them, but not if you're looking to score a band 7 or higher. See, anything that comes off as memorized will hurt your score. This is why memorizing an essay template is the worst way to go about writing an essay if the aim is to get a band 7 or higher. So keep your introduction simple, simply paraphrase the essay prompt and answer the question asked. Now, some essay prompts may have 2 statements. Please make sure that you include them both in the first part of the introduction. That is, the one where we paraphrase. Also, some essay prompts may have two questions. Now, in the second part of the introduction, we absolutely have to answer them both. Let us understand this two-part introduction structure with an example. Many people believe that a university education should be free for all students. Do you agree or disagree? We'll now look at two examples to write introduction for this essay prompt. The first one should get you a band 6.5 or higher, while the second one should definitely get you a band 8 or 9. It is commonly believed that every student should have access to a free tertiary education. I disagree with this opinion because free university education will undermine the value of college degree, as well as a huge proportion of tax money would be expended. So in this two-part introduction, we paraphrase the essay prompt in the first part, and then the second part answers the question that we were asked. Now here the question asks, do you agree or disagree? I answer the question by clearly mentioning that I disagree, and I also briefly mention the two ideas that I will write in my two body paragraphs to support my view. Now, see, for someone who hasn't even understood the question, it is not possible for them to paraphrase the question right. Now, this is why when we paraphrase the question by just changing the language and we did not distort or change the meaning of the question, by doing so, we're telling the examiner that we did understand the question right. Let us now look at another way of writing an introduction for this essay. Only in this case, we have tried to use some high-level vocabulary. At the same time, our vocabulary is topic-specific. As the college affordability crisis intensifies, proponents of free university education have been more vocal on the matter than ever before. In my opinion, however, making higher education free across the board will not only undermine the value of college education, but also eat into the public dollars. Here again, my introduction comprises two parts. In the first part, I paraphrase the essay prompt, and in the second part, I answer the question. Now, in the first example, the kind of language I have used when answering the question is something that I may have memorized for this essay type. That is, for any agree-disagree essay that I get, I may answer the question by writing something like, I disagree with this opinion because, and then the first reason, as well as, and then the second reason. If we want to get a higher band score, we should try and write something that would not come off as memorized, something that the examiner reads and goes, this is something, these are the ideas or sentences that the candidate came up with as they were writing the essay, and not something that they remember from this template that they may have learned or memorized for their IELTS test. Like in the second example, I write, in my opinion, I don't even say that I agree or I disagree. It is very clear from the reasons that I give that I disagree. You will now look at three different essay prompts. Try and write one introduction for each of these, following the structure we just discussed. And once you've done that, continue watching the video to see sample introductions for all three of them. Please note that when our essay prompt contains two statements, we paraphrase them both in the first part of our introduction. And when our essay prompt has two questions, we answer them both in the second part of the introduction.